Hello, everyone. This is Mark Anthony with AI Edge Podcast, the place where we bring you the best of the best doctors in their area. And not just that, but one video can change one person's life. There's a lot of people that are skeptic about doctors, chiropractors, and sometimes you meet certain people that can change your life. So I'm going to tell you all, be open. Today, we're going to be talking with Dr. Jasmine. You can find her at spinalbloom.com. Spinalbloom.com. She's in the Austin, Texas area. Yes, it's a little hot. It's okay. Bring some ice cubes. Other than that, we're going to be talking about a cool topic. And the topic here is real recovery, what your body actually needs. So, again, thank you so much, Dr. Jasmine, for being here and tell us your story. We'd love to hear it, how you got into chiropractic.
I'm glad to be here. So how
Nice.
I got into chiropractic, when I was in undergrad, I actually thought that I wanted to do orthopedic surgery. So I sat in on a knee surgery and it was the craziest thing I had ever seen. I was like, oh my goodness, there's so much blood. There's a lot of stuff going on. And I just knew that that kind of wasn't the profession for me. So I kind of wandered around for about a semester, just kind of like, I'll just take these classes and I'll figure it out. And a representative from Life University came into my classroom and kind of explained to us what chiropractic was and gave us their information. And I talked with my mom. I was like, hey, I think this might be a cool thing. So when I came home to Texas that summer, we ended up going to Parker University up in Dallas, Texas. And that's actually where I ended up going to school. I loved the campus. Everyone was so friendly. I didn't know much about chiropractic before I had gotten into it, actually. So it was literally a whole new world. But I loved the idea of holistic healing and being able to make a lot of different changes
Mhm.
without having to do something as significant as surgery or like long-term medications and things of that nature.
That's awesome. Now, in the Texas area, where are you located so that people can have an idea where to find you?
I am located in Central Texas, so I'm in Austin.
Okay. Awesome. And tell us a little bit about your practice before we get into real recovery. Like, tell us, what are some of the things that you do in your practice that maybe some people out there would love to know?
Sure. So I run a wellness-based practice. So what that means is I'm really interested in holistic health and making sure that people have the tools that they need on a day-to-day basis to help themselves. I think that sometimes we can do a really good job of helping people while they're in front of us, but once that time comes, once the appointment ends, I really try to make sure that I give my patients the tools that they need to be able to help themselves in the meantime, in between time that they're seeing me. So my patients will tell you I'm very nosy. I ask a ton of questions. So outside of just asking them what they're here for or what brings them in or what kind of pain they
Right.
have going on, we're getting into how much do you sleep on a regular basis? How many fruits and vegetables are you eating on a regular basis? What are you drinking every day? How many cups of coffee?
Right
How much
on.
alcohol do you have? Like we really try to get into it because we think of these things as a ton of separate occurrences, but all of these things are in a circle and all of them work together. So the pain that you're feeling could very well be linked to the fact that you're not sleeping or not eating your fruits and vegetables, which are giving you the vitamins and minerals that you need, which can contribute to pain. So I think just trying to be the actual holistic provider, as in giving them the tools that they need that I know that I can give them. And I think that the basis of that is education. Because when people know better, they can actually do better. Like people don't understand that not sleeping or pulling those all nighters to get work done, we don't really think about what that's doing to us long term because we're thinking about why we have to stay up.
Okay, I love that. Now, for those of people out there that don't know what the word holistic means, what does that mean? Just talk to me like I'm a third
Yeah,
grader.
so holistic health to me is trying to use the most natural resources that you have in order to work on the things that you need to. So let's say if I've been having some shoulder pain for the past couple of days, instead of me immediately going to take ibuprofen, maybe I look up some stretches. Maybe I get a little heating patch to put on it. So before I reach for the medication or before I maybe go and make a doctor's appointment to say like, hey, is it rotator cuff? Do I need a surgery or things of that nature or maybe steroids? It's starting with the natural things. So will stretching help? Will heat help? Will ice help? Will exercise in general help? And then if those things aren't making improvements after so often, that's when you kind of take the next step. So when I think about holistic health, I'm thinking about chiropractors, even sometimes your physical therapist, your massage therapist, people that are working on your body to help bring you health in more ways than just the pain that you're talking about, is what
Okay,
holistic
I
health
like
is.
that. I love that, and because a lot of people, they get a migraine, they reach right away for the ibuprofen instead of realizing,
Yeah,
hey,
and
that
sometimes you need
actually
it.
hurts. Right, right.
Yeah,
Uh,
like sometimes you do need it, but I think that we have to do a better job of trying to help ourselves in more natural ways. Like ice is actually a can be really helpful for migraines. It sounds really
mhm.
weird, but putting your feet in hot water can help take a migraine away. So
Oh
that's what
wow.
I mean by like using natural methods. And if you try those things and they don't work, then by all means go the more serious route. But I think we have to get in the habit of starting with things that we can do to help ourselves versus, oh, I'm in pain, I need to go to someone, or I need to something to help me. Like I want us to have the tools that we need.
Okay, I love that. So that's really cool. So let's talk about this topic of yours, real recovery, what your body actually needs. What does that really mean?
Yeah. So when we think about recovery, I feel like a lot of the times people think about sleeping,
Yep.
uh, we think about stretching, but we don't really think about the everything as a whole. Like when you think of recovery, a lot of people talk about like getting massages, and massages can be really beneficial, but there's a ton of different types of massage. There's instrument assisted massage, which is one of my favorites. I think that brings a lot of change to the muscle tissue itself. There's massage gun therapy, so that's using what's called percussion, so like the quick tapping to stimulate things. That's also affecting your nervous system because your nervous system loves massage and vibration, and that actually helps proprioception. So it's really good for athletes, like using massage guns and things of that nature. With the instrument assisted massage, there's a tons of different types, but some of the most popular, the tool kind of looks almost like a butter knife, no sharp
Mhm.
edges or anything, and you use some type of like oil or cream to put on the muscle, and you're literally scraping at the muscle. So like if you've ever had a tight knot, like
Mhm.
especially on your trap or somewhere like that, it's literally putting that cream on it and going to work on that muscle. So it doesn't
Interesting.
feel amazing in that moment,
Huh.
but it really does a good job of helping those muscle knots and things that people get, especially when it comes to like athletes or people that have to lift things for work.
Oh wow. Okay. So what is that? Is that what is that called again? That's you were
So the
all I heard was butter knife. I'm like, okay.
so it's called instrument assisted
Mhm.
soft tissue mobilization.
Okay.
That's just like a very broad term. All that means is that we're going to be using tools to help us accomplish whatever the goal is. But the goal in instrument assisted massage is just going to be to increase blood flow, increase that circulation, kind of decrease the pain and any adhesions or like little muscle knots that people get. So that's the purpose of it. And there's a ton of different ways that you can
Okay.
address that. Like I said, you can use the massage, you can use tools, and even with the tools, there's differences. There's stainless steel tools, there's plastic tools, you have gua sha tools, so things that are made out of like jade or stone. Like even that is a type of instrument assisted massage.
Hmm. I've heard about that. I play pickleball, so there's a lot of pickleball players that swear by those stones, like a jade stone to, in the elbow area that works, which is very interesting because I started getting that. It's called like a tennis elbow, pickleball elbow,
Mhm.
whatever they call it.
Those tendons get really tight with all that repetitive movement that you guys are doing. It gets really
Uh,
tight.
what's interesting though, instead of using a stone, what I did was I was like, you know what? I'm going to use the energy of my hand. So
Mm.
before I work, because I work out I work out like 3 days, 4 days a week. So what I'll do is I'll just get my hand and I'll just start rubbing it while I'm just circulating. And be honest with you, because the number one thing that people do is they stop using it, they stop working out, they stop using their arm. So I did opposite. I worked the muscles around it, strengthen it up. Now it's not fully gone, but it doesn't hurt,
Yeah,
but it's
not nearly as
strengthened
bad.
now. But with the hand, the energy just of your hand. But I mean, why a stone? Is there something special about the stone, or is it just because it's more of a flat surface, or
I don't know the specifics of that ancient Chinese medicine technique, but I would assume that it's the flatness of the stone working with that muscle itself. Like you're actually able to get right on top of the muscle and work specifically on like the spot that's causing you issues versus like with massage, you're kind of just going over the general area. So stuff like gua sha and like that instrument assisted massage, it's super, super specific. So it's really good for athletes in recovery and even good for people that are coming out of like surgeries that have like scars and things of that nature. Like even doing it gently over those scars can help prevent the what do I want to call it? Like the chronicness of
Mhm.
the scar, like the way that it looks.
Oh, wow. Okay. And so when you say, what your body actually needs, what are some of the symptoms or some of the things that you've maybe seen in your own practice where maybe somebody came in and they maybe were doing something a little bit negative and they finally said, okay, just help me out, do whatever, like maybe some like a testimony or something and what you did.
Yeah. So let me think of some of my favorite patients. Recently, I had a patient come in. She was involved in a car accident. And so, of course, on before we get into the car accident and why she's there, I ask those questions of, okay, so how much do you sleep on like a daily basis? What's your, like, how much water are you drinking on a daily basis? Just to kind of build a picture and let me
Mm,
know, like, okay, this is the environment that we were given and then this incident occurred. You can't start with, okay, the person's coming in because I had a car accident, let's get all the information. Like you have to know where that person is at before you get into how you can help them. And I think that's kind of what makes the difference. But she had come in from a car accident. She didn't really have a lot of history with chiropractic care or with recovery, but she wasn't sleeping very often, as in like consistently. She was waking up like 2 or 3 times a night. She wasn't drinking her daily recommended amount of
yeah.
water, wasn't eating regularly. She's a busy corporate girly. So she typically said that she would eat a granola bar, she'd drink some water, get her 3 cups of coffee, and then she didn't eat again until like 7 or 8 o'clock at night. So even already there, your body's not getting the vitamins that it needs. You're not giving it the minerals that it needs. So this is where we're starting. And then
I see.
after that, we have an injury. So your body's not going to be able to properly recover from that injury because it didn't even start on a good note, so to speak.
Mm,
And so I introduced her to cupping therapy, which is another type of instrument assisted massage under that
okay.
big old umbrella term. And that kind of works a little differently from the scraping that we talked about earlier, because what cupping is actually doing is lifting the muscle. So it's kind of giving it some space that it needs to breathe underneath, is kind of
Um,
how I like to describe it to people. So you put the cup on the muscle, you do like the little suction therapy, and then you can have that person do like super gentle movement. So her traps was a place that she had a ton of stiffness. So we just had her literally lift her arm up and down a couple of times while those cups were on there, so that her muscles kind of got the retraining that it needed while it had that decompression effect on it. And of course, that was her first time having it done. It's not a painful thing, but it's a odd sensation for your body to feel for the first time to kind of figure out what was going on. She was super sore after the first time, but I was like, you'll wake up feeling different in the morning. And when you do, shoot me a text message.
wow.
Sure enough, 5:36 in the morning, she texts me and she's like, I was able to put on my bra and my clothes without having like a ton of shoulder pain. And that was
Wow.
just after a single visit. And we're still in the process of seeing her, but just seeing how quickly she was able to improve over something that's as simple as a cup and suction. You have different ways that people can do that. Some people do it with glass cups and you can use heat with it. But to be able to see results that quickly, especially from a car accident, of course, she was recommended to go to the doctor to see what was going on. And of course, surgery was on the table because the car accident was like a moderate to severe one. But she was like, I feel so much better after just one session of cupping. So that's something that we've continued to do every time. I give her
Unbelievable.
exercises that she's done. She's actually on vacation right now. So she felt good enough to go on her vacation about a month and a half after her accident. So we're making good progress and we're still not done, because once we get out of the pain, so what her real issue is or why she came to us, then we can kind of start addressing, all right, so now let's getting into the nutrients. Now that your body's feeling better, let's make sure that we're giving it the right fuel so it can
Very
continue to feel
good.
better. And even if there's something that happens, so let's say another injury, let's say another car accident, you're already starting your body off in a better position than you were at the time before.
Wow. I love the way you explain. I love it. So you've got her on right track. She's starting to drink enough water now.
Mhm.
And then you've got her on like maybe, I don't know, minerals, I'm guessing. Is that
So we're
correct?
starting with just fruits and veggies. Before we get into
Baby
any
steps.
before we get into any supplementation, I definitely want her to just start with fruits and veggies. And of course, we go over the education parts of that. I'm like, so of course, these fruits are going to give you these vitamins, these vegetables are going to give you these vitamins and these. So we're slowly trying to change things. And that's one of my biggest things as a provider, because I think people get overwhelmed when you tell them you need to sleep 8 hours a night. You need to have 8 servings of fruits and
Yeah, they do.
vegetables. You need to do this. You need to do that. So by changing things slowly but surely, I think that that's how you actually make like that lifelong progress. So for her fruits and vegetable intake, I just had her add a smoothie in the morning time. So before she drinks her coffee, she drinks a breakfast smoothie with some strawberries. She does a little bit of kale, mangoes,
Right track.
honey. Yeah, and so, of course, doing that before her coffee, that's actually gonna help regulate her appetite throughout the day. So
Wow.
now that she's eating something in the morning before she's activating, like, the caffeine and getting her body going, she'll probably actually be hungry for lunch now, and she shoots me text messages, and she's like, "I actually ate a salad for lunch," or like, "I actually felt a little bit of hunger." And so it's just working super slowly to help people make those changes that you want to be long term, and I think that we're doing a really, really good job with her.
That's awesome. And then, so you mentioned you're doing cupping with her. So cupping, where did that come from? I know that I see a lot of pictures and it kind of scares me a little bit because I see a bunch of like red, like, okay, someone like it's like a
It's like an
vampire cup.
octopus attacked them.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, that does not look good.
So it's not a painful process at all. The scarring that you're seeing is just the blood flow from the lifting up and the circulation and whatnot. And it typically goes away within like 4 to 5 days. What I have my patients do, if they really want to address the aesthetics of it, I have them just follow up with ice. And that kind of helps with the discoloration process that kind of speeds it up a
Okay.
little. But as far as where it originated, I'm not entirely sure, but I'd be willing to bet that it's probably an ancient Chinese
It
medicine
always is, I
technique.
tell you.
Yeah, I bet.
And I think you're correct, though. It's I've seen it for quite a few years. I just never really that's one thing I never tried. I've tried a lot of other things with like chiropractic and neuropathy stuff and PRP and all this other exozone, ozone, all the zones. But so with the cupping, is that something you do once a month once you start doing it, or is that like something recommended, or is there like a what do you recommend?
So it kind of depends. With the patient that I spoke on earlier, we were doing it once a week with her, but she had also just gotten out of a car accident and was dealing with all of that. So for your average patient, like let's say someone that works a 9 to 5, but maybe they go to the gym 3 to 4 times a week, with them, I'd say maybe once a month. If after their workouts or maybe a day or so after they still feel like soreness a little more than usual, that's when we start thinking, okay, maybe it might be time to address the muscle. And so we can do the cupping, we can look at the scraping tools, and we can look at the vibration. So it kind of just depends on what's going on with that person.
Mhm. Okay, awesome. So what I've learned with the cupping, it really helps to get the blood flow and it opens up areas that are real tight and restricted. If
Hmm.
what I'm hearing you say, so I just want to make sure that I understand and everybody else out there in internet land.
You got it.
What other things is it really good for that you've seen or that it's helped maybe people with other things other than say a car accident or let's say somebody had neck problems or back problems. I'm just making something up, in that case.
It's really, really good for range of motion. So another patient that I have, she was a server, so she kind of has her arms up like this all day.
Yep.
And she was having a lot of mid back stiffness. And so we started doing the cupping on her, and she started to notice that she was able to sort of swing the plates around her, the thing that she was holding, like she had a little bit more range as far as like having to turn around instead of just having to hold it here,
Right.
because we started working on her muscles and just working on the muscle knots and things of that nature. And that kind of helps bring the tension down so that the
Mhm.
muscle can actually do what it's supposed to do.
Right. Well, that's awesome. So you do cupping, you do scraping, from what I hear. Are there any other modalities that you're currently doing in your office on with what goes with the title on what your body actually needs or that you've seen?
Yeah, so massage, the massage gun, that's That's kind of how I start most of my appointments. Like I said, vibration is really, really good for the nervous system. So
Mhm.
by starting off with kind of activating or stimulating
Mhm.
those nerves and whatnot, you're kind of just prepping the body for everything that you're going to do after that. So I try to start off with the massage gun all the time just to kind of get the body moving and just get the body ready for what we're going to do next. And then if I need to do any specifics, so we'll say cupping after that. So if the patient needs to do cupping, we'll do the cupping, we'll do the suction. If there's any specific exercises that I need them to do just to move the muscle while it's under that like suction
Right.
state, that definitely helps with the range of motion. And then once we get the cups off of them, if we need to follow it up with any more scraping, like if there's still some muscle knots that are kind of tight,
Right.
we can follow it up with that. So we do the vibration to start to just kind of get everything awake, so to speak. And then we do the cupping, which is kind of like the decompression of that muscle. And then if we need to follow it up even more, we'll do the scraping. And so that's like the very specific, like pushing, kneading on the muscle type of deal. And then after that, we get into the adjustments. So my style is pretty gentle with my adjustments, and I'm able to get a lot of relief. But I think that it's because I do those steps beforehand to make sure that I'm not just addressing the joints that need to work. So we're looking at the muscle, we're looking at the tight spots in the muscle, and we're doing several different things to try to help relax it, try to help improve that circulation. So that way, when I go in for that adjustment, it's not
Smart.
painful, it's smooth.
Wow, I like that. I don't see a lot of chiropractors do that, to be honest with you. Just kind of thinking about it, but the way that you're explaining it, it makes so much sense. Because there's a lot of, I call them McDonald's chiropractors out there. They've got these certain names. I'm not going to say the name, but they have certain names out there, and they're everywhere around the world. But you
Mhm.
never know who you're going to get as a chiropractor.
Yep, and every
And
doctor
yeah,
is different.
every
Oh my
doctor.
goodness, every
And
chiropractor
it's
is different.
scary, I'm like, "Okay, this guy is Iron Man. This person's soft," you don't know, but I mean, with what you're doing is you're priming the body up, which is the smartest thing to do. You're loosening it up, so when you get them on the table, it's a smooth transition, not only for yourself, but for them, because you can really hurt somebody. Like, somebody can get really hurt because if they're not loose and they're kinda tight and they tighten up while you're cracking, they can hurt themselves. People don't realize it.
Mhm.
Be
Muscle
relaxed.
spasms. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, not gonna kill you, but it's gonna now you got a kink in your neck. But, wow, I love that. It's really cool to see a chiropractor that does all the things that you're doing to loosen up the body. Now with the chiropractor massage gun, is that a certain type of massage gun that you use, or are they all they're not I know they're not all created equal.
No, definitely not. So I have like a pretty big one. I'd say it's maybe like 6 inches by 4 inches. And that's like the pretty generic one that I'll start it off with. I have a
Right.
smaller like massage gun that you probably see a lot of like athletes and people doing with
Oh,
recovery.
yeah.
And that has like a bunch of different heads on it. So it'll have like a circular head, it'll have like a flat head. But those are my two favorite ones
Okay,
as far
yeah.
as massage tools.
Yeah, no, it's funny, every time I go work out, every time I work out, I always go into the massage machine for 20 minutes.
They made it.
I'm like, that's
Your
the only reason
body
I
needs
work. I go, honestly, it's become the only motivation for me to even work out. I get a 20-minute massage every day. I'm like, hallelujah. But yeah, a weird way of, I guess, looking at it. Everyone's got their thing, But so speaking on, so we're doing pupping, we're doing chiropractic, we're doing massaging with a gun. What are some other things that you also do in your practice? Also, are
So
those pretty much the
outside,
focus with wellness?
yeah, so with wellness, that's the physical focus. Like I said, we try to get into nutrition, like just the very basics of education. So like these are the vitamins that you need, these are the minerals that your body needs. So for the second appointment for all of my patients, we have what's called your report of findings. And so that's
Okay.
just kind of where I take everything that I learned from our first visit and all the questions I asked you and all the exams that we did, and I kind of put it into digestible information for my patients to understand. I love giving my patients stretches. You can take stretches anywhere. A lot of times you don't need materials or
Yeah.
things for it. So I give all of my patients a 15 to 20-minute exercise routine, stretching routine. And we'll kind of talk about whether I want them to do it in the morning or the evening time. It'll be kind of based on their routine and how they present. So when they notice their issues and stuff. Yeah, that's kind of the basis of what I'm doing. Stretching is a really big part of my jam. Stretching is a really, really big part of it.
Okay. Yeah, I know my favorite stretching, you're gonna laugh, is just I like to hang on the bars. I mean, I think
No,
because
that's decompression. That's
yeah, I'm like,
the
I don't know
best
what it is.
thing.
I'm exactly. I mean, I'm like, I'll hang on there for like a couple minutes, and I'll stop. Then I'm working out because I work out with my son every day. He's like, Dad, you're always on the bars. I go, oh my God, you don't have to but my back
It's
feels
so
so
relieving.
good.
Think about it. We walk on our feet all day where our spines are just compressing themselves all day. And even when we're moving around and twisting and turning, your body is still tight. So to be able to hang and to get that little bit of relief and
Oh heck yeah.
decompression in your body, it feels amazing. I'm only 28 and I already love to do my little hanging every time I go to the gym.
But yeah, it's like, oh, thank you, Lord. I'm like, I feel like I'm at church. But no, it's like so relieving. And and people don't realize, and I love what you hit on. You hit on some really good things. Water is essential. Like for me, I always try to I like to drink at least a gallon a day. That's just me. I'm a gallon guy. I love water. I I'll go naughty, and I don't believe in like Pepsi and stuff like that because of what's in it. But I'll
Mhm.
go bad once a month. I'll have a root beer.
Hey, love reviews.
I
I won't
love root
hold you
beer. I
down.
know, I know. But I'll have a root beer a month. I have a limit. 2 is my max, but, or Canadian dry. But, it's my little devices. We all have them. But the water is so important, and I always tell this to everybody. I'm like, I should get stock in it. Is I always tell people get the spring water
Mhm.
because the actual, I believe it's natural springs, and it has all the minerals, the actual minerals from the rocks. And
Mhm.
I noticed the difference. So now that's like all I'll basically drink. But what people don't realize is that the minerals actually help out with your gut, which is really, really important. And if you're not getting enough
It's
water, you're prone to a lot more injury. Don't you agree?
Yeah, you're definitely prone to a lot more injury, and our bodies are mostly water, our organs are mostly water. You wouldn't try to get in your car and go from California to Florida with only half a tank because you can't. And I think the
100%.
same thing applies with our water intake. So when people the what do you want to say, like the agitation that some people feel or like the constant tiredness, like that's not linked always necessarily to you not sleeping. Like a lot of things go back to you not having enough water. Like you're just not giving your body what it needs to run and to function.
Hmm. Hmm. Or drinking too much coffee.
Yes. And the
That's the
coffee
depleter right
conversation.
there. And I know that can go a whole different route. I'm going to be honest though. I love coffee. I like
I
it
love
black.
my iced coffee. I love my iced mocha.
Oh yeah, chai tea, man. Let me tell you something. Oh my
Oh
gosh,
yeah.
that's just wrong. Anyways, so but the coffee, it's got such a quick upper and a heavy down, and
Hmm.
it does make you tired. That's why I always tell people if you're going to have coffee, you better make sure the first thing you wake up is have a glass of water. Wake your system up. Number two, have
Hmm.
your cup of coffee. Then right after that, have a glass of water. Flood it. You can flush that right away. You know what I mean?
Yep. Water as soon as you wake up. And I even take it a step further. I tell my patients, I want you to eat something before you start drinking your coffee. Like your body deserves to have some type of nutrition, some type of
That's hard for a lot
food
of people.
before. And yeah, it is hard because a lot of people don't wake up hungry. I myself, I don't typically wake up with an
Same
appetite. It
here.
takes me a couple of hours before I'm like, all right, let me find
A
something.
hundred
So I have
percent.
to start doing smoothies. So I just do
Oh yeah.
frozen strawberries, vanilla Greek yogurt, and orange juice. And I'll add like
Good.
extra fruit every once in a while if I want to. But just giving my body that vitamin C, those minerals from that fruit is you notice the difference. Like you're less
Yeah, you do.
jittery, like the common like coffee side effects, you don't notice them nearly as much when you're giving your body the stuff that it needs beforehand.
100%. So, what type of vitamins do you normally recommend to like people? Or is it just different for everybody? Or
It varies for everybody. I feel like magnesium is a very popular one to give people. There's like 8, 9 different types of magnesium.
oh
But
wow,
I'd say magnesium malate. So the one that specifically works on muscle recovery and like stiffness and things like that. That's something that is recommended a lot with patients, especially if the things that they're coming in with are persisting issues. Your basic water soluble vitamins, so vitamins A, D, E, and K. A lot of people lack just from a laboratory perspective, lack the vitamin D that they need. And if you're lacking the vitamin D that you need, you're also lacking vitamin K. That's something that we talk about in the office a lot. We try to do a lot of education. So once people know better, they can do better. So, like, once you realize and understand how important vitamins are, it's not just, oh, if I'm an athlete or if I'm exercising, I need to be doing those things. No, if your body doesn't have vitamins, it can't produce the hormones that it needs. You literally can't function the way that your body's supposed to if you're not giving itself the vitamins and the minerals that it needs. But it definitely varies person to person. But I say those are the two that are pretty common, like magnesium and vitamin D with that K2.
Wow, it's interesting. One of the things that I feel like minerals are not talked a lot about, and minerals is very, very important. One of the things I do is I use Irish sea moss, which has I believe it's like 92 minerals inside of it, which is
Mhm.
very interesting. And you can buy like a bag for $20, and it'll last you for what, 4 months, 5 months if you're using it. And what I do is I'll take like a little piece, nice chunk out. I'll clean it off with the water, and then I'll put it in a little water bowl, put it in my refrigerator. Next morning, I clean it, wash it
Mhm.
out, and I basically get it and I put it in the blender with 2 cups of purified water, and I blend it. And so then I use it every morning. I put a scoop in my coffee or whatever I'm doing, so I can get the minerals. And I'm surprised a lot of people wouldn't do that because it's so simple. But I know there's so many steps to take to get to it.
A lot of steps, but sea moss does have a lot of the minerals that the average person is lacking. So that's a very good way to kind of combat that because it can be kind of hard to get all of your minerals and all of your vitamins through food alone. So sea moss can be a great easy way to kind of catch back up in the game.
No, 100%. It's a bummer. It's a bummer that our food supply has been so depleted of the nutrition value that we have to go to all these different sources. I wish there was just one pill you can take for vitamin D, DK, B, the whole alphabet. I'm sure that's coming.
I
Or
say I'm sure it's coming and it's going to
or
be
a vitamin
expensive. Let me tell
injection, or a vitamin injection.
Shoot, with what is it called? With the IVs, like, that's become very popular in the
Yeah.
last couple of years, and I don't think that they are very helpful for people, but I just don't want people to get used to that. Like, the only time that they can get their vitamins is when they go somewhere to get an injection type of
Right.
deal.
You
Like,
want
of
to be
course,
consistent.
yeah. Like, people should know that you have the tools that you need to help yourself. Of course,
Mm.
we have providers and educators and people that can help you, but I think that we always need to start with, okay, what do I know about what's going on and kind of how can I help myself again, whether that be through heat stretches, whether that be through addressing, like, are you sleeping enough, the food, the water, all of the things. And then if you try those things and those things aren't working, it's okay, this might be more serious than I thought. Let's move to the next step versus starting with who can I turn to help me. It puts the responsibility of your health back on yourself. And I think that's really what holistic health is.
I love it. I love what you do, and every doctor I talk to, I always tell them, "Thank you for your service." It's almost like you're a military person because you're helping people. I mean, people don't
Yeah.
realize how important you guys are, and I believe that chiropractic is just gonna become bigger than it has ever been, I believe, in the next 10 or 20 years because, we've got so much going on with these cell phones, and people always looking,
Hmm. Take that.
I mean, come on, they're gonna get that bird neck. And if they go to a regular doctor, they're gonna be like, "Surgery." It's like, "Okay, do you know any other word besides surgery?" You know how it is. I'm not here to bag, but,
Yeah.
if I get in a car accident, I wanna see it. I wanna see them, but I don't think that everything is surgery. We have
Hmm.
our body, it was created to heal. The spine was created to heal, and one of the biggest things that I love about chiropractic, and I feel that I do not hear enough of, is a lot of people don't know the chiropractic story that when Palmer, I believe it was his father, was doing a chiropractic, he was doing an adjustment and it made
On a
the
janitor.
person, yeah, he was like deaf or something like that. And
Hmm.
all of a sudden he could hear. Okay. That kind of made that just, I think that was the boom of, okay, we got something here
Yeah. It's like,
because
wait, let's learn a
yeah,
little bit more about
we
this.
got we got
Sure.
something here, exactly. So I think that chiropractic, this is my opinion, is starting to get the respect that it deserves. And a
Well,
lot
it
of
should
people
be.
don't
Yeah.
know that the type of schooling you guys actually go through.
Yeah.
It's it is a lot and ongoing.
Yes.
But I just want to say thank you so much for being here, Dr. Jasmine,
Of
and
course.
talking about real recovery. I love how you talk about recovery, and you're not just throwing somebody in the leather seat and just crackly crack crack. You're going there.
No, you need all that
Getting them
information.
you're getting them prepped up. It's just like, hey, it's a bad analogy, but I'm gonna go with it. It's like when you're cooking dinner, you got that steak. We're gonna massage that sucker. We're gonna get that sucker primed up.
All
We're
the
gonna put a
steps,
little
yeah.
season. I mean, come on, some soy sauce. Kicks and giggles. Maybe throw a little beer on it. I don't know. But the bottom line, it's getting it prepped up, and a lot of chiropractors. I would say that a lot of the newer chiropractors aren't doing the prepping. It's just okay. Let's just get them going. Not saying that it doesn't work, but you want to prep because you're going to get less injuries that could become injuries.
Yeah, better results. Better
Yeah, but
results when you address the actual issues. I think that sometimes when we're moving a little too fast, we don't always get into addressing all of the issues. It's just, oh, we feel this, fix this, boom, you're good. But when you can actually get into, okay, why is this muscle feeling like this? Why does it only feel like this when I do that? How can we fix this? How can we address this? When you really start asking those complex questions to yourself, not only am I making myself smarter, but I can actually help my patient and they're going to appreciate that. They'll notice the difference. So I do think that we chiropractors are starting to get the respect that they deserve. But I think that that comes with like what we're doing now, like just actually sitting down and letting people know what it is that we do because chiropractic can be very taboo and every chiropractor is different. And I think that that can sometimes have a lot to do with it because if you have a bad experience with one, it kind of can put a bad taste in your mouth with the profession itself. So I think that just like what I said with education, as long as we start with that and what it is that we do, like we're not cracking any bones, we're not twisting anything out of place. Like we're all we're doing is trying to help the body and we try to do it in the most holistic way possible.
I love it. Love what you do and love your passion for what you're doing. And everyone out there in internet land, sharing is caring. This is Dr. Jasmine. She's been a blessing to be here on the show today, speaking on real recovery, what your body actually needs. And you can find her at spinalbloom.com in the Austin, Texas area where it's hot and beautiful. And thank you so much. And I appreciate you for what you do and for being here on the show today.
Thank you for having me, Margaret. Had a lot of fun.
Yeah, this was fun. And yep, so this was really fun. This is good. I'm glad we got this. I'm going to push stop here and